Hello, everyone, and welcome yourselves back to the YouTube channel, back to the For the Love of Nerds podcast. I am here with a guest who has not appeared on the channel. We're trying to say 2, 3 years ago. It is Marcelo Bottaro. How are you?
I'm doing fine on my end, my friend.
Real. So, welcome back to the channel. As I said, 2, 3 years, plenty to catch up on, plenty to feed the audience with information. So, just give a brief description of who you are, what you do, and how you are.
Well, first thing is right. The name is Marcelo Bottaro. I am based in Brooklyn, New York. I am a cartoonist. I'm a puppeteer. I'm a voice actor. Now jumping into filmmaking, and I have just celebrated 4 years of art teaching here in New
Wow,
York.
nice. Amazing. So obviously, the main reason why me and Marcelo first got into contact was through his puppetry, and that's what attracted me. So, what's going on with the puppetry at the moment? Where's that at? Obviously, I know you said you're doing artwork and stuff, but where's the puppetry at these days?
We're still on TikTok. I'm still doing some videos on TikTok under my troupe, The Figments. And yeah, I've been doing that since the pandemic,
Yeah,
actually, which I was doing it for kicks, but with one video, what turned from 500 views, 500 followers, turned into now 5,538 followers and counting. So I'm still doing things with puppets. I'm still doing my show on my YouTube channel. The main show is the Augie Smitty and Marv Comedy Hour, which is basically just improv, just
yeah,
improv sketches with these three characters I've created, Augie, Smitty, and Marv. They're kind of like my Three Stooges. So Augie is Mo, Smitty is Larry, and I'm gonna say Marv is Curly, but he's not as imbecilic. Or yeah, he's not as imbecilic
yeah, yeah.
like Curly. Not to say Curly is imbecilic. I love him, but yeah, I'm still doing that. Uh, there are things that are new in the works. I can't really talk about it too much because it's still in the development stages,
Yeah.
both puppetry and animation. But yeah, I'm doing puppetry related. I'm doing something with my brothers right now. We're trying to work on this little show. Um, yeah, we're trying to work on this little show for YouTube, mainly for ourselves because they got interested in puppetry because of me, and now we're just trying to develop a nice little show that combine of the things that we enjoy, like Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers,
Yeah.
and most recently Miss Rachel. So we're trying to incorporate those things. Uh, Animation wise, again, can't really say too much, but I recently, as of last year, finally jumped back into my interest in making animation again. And I've actually started working on a few small tests. I'm actually working on my very first return to animation. I'm working on a new short film.
Nice. Awesome. Seems
Yeah.
like you've been very busy with all that. And obviously, you said you've done 4 years now in teaching art, or are you doing is it teaching art? Yeah.
Yep.
Uh, Tell us a bit about that, how that came about, and how that differs from your passions for animation and puppetry.
Funny enough, it was the year of 2021, and I was still unemployed, and I was trying to find work, like anything, part time, anything at all. But 2022 came around, and many know this story, but I don't mind sharing it again. Um, there's a reboot out on Apple TV, Fraggle Rock, Back to
Oh
the
yeah,
Rock,
yeah,
which is the reboot of the original Fraggle Rock from the 80s, created by Jim Henson. And me and my mother, we saw the first episode for free on Apple TV, and I said, I feel like something is going to happen here. I don't know what, but I feel something is going to happen, something good. To which I was offered to teach a club called Puppet Theater for an organization here in Manhattan. They saw my videos on YouTube and said, I think you might be a great fit. And push comes to shove, I've been doing that for after school clubs within the cities of New York. Then transitioned into teaching assistants for middle schoolers, but now during then was able to incorporate television monitor puppetry course for middle schoolers, grades six, seven, and eight.
Okay.
And because of my consistency, my me being on time with everything, and also just having that love and passion
Yeah.
for doing this, it opened up some doors for me to teach cartoons and comics. So now I teach kids how to draw cartoons. Uh, I might do something a little bit later down the line. I'm not sure what, but something cartoon related, of course. And yeah, I've been doing that for right now, as of 2026. I've been doing that for over 4 years now, and it's been quite a learning experience, a great growth experience, and I'm just beyond blessed with the opportunity. So I definitely want to continue on and
Amazing.
keep going.
That's amazing. It's incredible that like you said through your puppetry and animation, it's allowed you to go into another avenue and now pass your skills on to kids, of all age groups.
Yeah,
So
it really is a wonderful thing. Funny enough, when I go to the schools, because I only teach 1 day a week,
yeah,
I go to the schools and get things set up with my new round of little ones from kindergarten and first grade. I see the other students that were once kindergartners and
yeah.
first graders. They would see me and they would come up to me and they would show me some of the puppets that they made, and
Oh wow.
that they would still practice their hand lip sync.
Hmm.
And just seeing that, it really tugs at my heartstrings. So
Yeah.
it gave me such you know joy, but at the same time, it did get me very emotional because who would have thought that the things that I do would leave such an impact?
No, and it's obviously funny you said that. Like your work's influenced by Jim Henson and what you've watched, and now you're able to do what you do and pass it on to the next generation. So I think it's very full circle that you've passed on everything you enjoy, and they can come back to you having learned what you taught them, and just be happy about the time they spent with you, which is amazing. And obviously, you can continue to do that for years to come. So
Yeah,
it's going to be exciting to see what you do going forward with that.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Out, obviously you mentioned you're in filmmaking as well. So what avenue do you want to go with that? Obviously, we've spoke about three different avenues you're going down. How do you want to add that to your repertoire and keep going forward with it?
Uh, funny enough with filmmaking, um, I do know me, myself, and I have certain strengths and weaknesses.
Hmm.
Obviously, live action content I could do because I've been doing puppetry for a long period of time. I
Yeah.
consider that live action. Um, Working with on camera actors, that would be a cool step in a new direction. But for me, I would definitely say more of a writing aspect.
Okay.
Yeah, so over the past few years, just on the side, just toying around, I would write concepts for drama films or horror films,
Yeah.
thrillers, things like that. Uh, and of course, comedies because I'm a big comedy fan. And uh, last year, when I was looking over some of the stuff that I was writing down, it kind of clicked that uh, there's an animator who I've just grown so fond of over the years. His name is Gendy Tartakovsky. He is the creator of Dexter's Lab, Samurai Jack, but he is
Okay.
also the director of all three of the Hotel Transylvania movies.
Ah,
And I bring him up because last year he finally got to release a film, a comedy film that he's always wanted to do called Fixed.
Oh, right, yeah.
And yep, and Fixed is a hand-drawn, a traditional hand-drawn animated film, which looks amazing. And that was one of the films that got me back into hand-drawn animation again. For those that don't know what Fixed is about, the basic premise is a dog wakes up in the morning and he finds out he is going to get neutered. So that is the main premise of the film, and that is what the film is all about. Starring Adam Devine, Bobby Moynihan was in the film, Idris Elba as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Gendy had a great A-list cast.
Yeah,
The film didn't receive very well, but I enjoyed it regardless
that's
because
the main thing. Yeah,
the animation looks amazing, and
yeah.
plus it's wonderful to see hand-drawn animation, being brought back in a day in the era of especially within the era of AI and everything,
Oh,
which
I know.
is
It's taking over.
just out of here.
Yeah.
So seeing that and seeing Gendy sort of step into that world of making a comedy film, that's also a little bit of where more of that inspiration comes from. Of because if Gendy could direct and write a an animated film, who knows where Gendy would go
Absolutely.
from everywhere else.
Yeah. No, and I get that. You try to work your way into that direction, and you've got your ideas. So, looking to the future with the four things we spoke about, your artistic abilities, your will and want to do more on camera with your puppets, your live action, you've got your puppets, and obviously you've got your animation. What is the overall main goal? You're doing your work on YouTube. Where and what would you like to see yourself doing? What's the dream? If you could look to the future and say, like, this is what I'd love to do with everything, or some of it incorporated.
I know that's a good one. Truth, uh, I would love to make and star in an animated series,
Hmm?
mainly as one I created myself, and with a small team. Again, that's actually one of the things I'm working on, but I don't want to say
Yeah, yeah.
too much at the moment. But that's definitely one of the main goals. Um, I would really love to get to work with one of my heroes who follows me on Twitter. His name is Jorge Gutierrez.
Okay.
Yeah, he created a show called El Tigre for Nickelodeon back in 2007, and he directed his very first film, The Book of Life.
Oh, yes, yes, yeah.
So I would really, it would be a dream come true to really get to work with this guy, either
Hmm.
as uh, within anything in animation. So that's a goal, but that's also one of the biggest dreams.
Yeah.
Um, Many people would think because I'm a puppeteer, they would think, oh, well, I thought your main dream was to work with the Muppets. I sort of left behind that dream years ago. Not because it's not possible, but I mean, when you're a puppeteer, many people think, oh, you should know, many people want to work with the Muppets. And,
Hmm.
you know, I do. Part of me does, but part of me also says, I actually want to do my own thing, make my own stuff.
Yeah. No, I get that. Touching on the Muppets, have you checked out the most recent TV show?
Words cannot describe how happy I was when I saw the new special.
Yeah.
I saw it early in the morning on Disney Plus before it aired on ABC.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. So I got to watch the brand new special on Disney Plus, and also I'm friends with Bill Barretta,
Oh, wow.
who's one of the main Muppet performers. Pepe the King Prawn, Big Mean Carl, Bobo the Bear, Johnny Fiamma, but he also took over for a number of Jim's characters, Dr. Teeth, Rolf the dog, Swedish Chef.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I sent him a message after I was done watching it the night of because I went to a friend's house and we were all watching the special together.
Yeah.
And I just sent him a message saying, "Hey, Bill, I love the special. Everybody does such a great job. Words can't describe how happy I am to see the Muppets doing the Muppet Show again."
Yeah.
And the other thing that's so cool about it is Dave Goles. He's actually one of the if if I'm correct on this, Dave Goles is one of the very, very last original Muppet performers.
Oh really?
Because yes, because he worked with Jim Henson on the
Wow.
original Muppet Show and all of the movies they've done. And all the Muppet movies, but also on The Dark Crystal and Labyrinth with David Bowie. And he was also one of the puppeteers for the original Fraggle Rock.
Jesus. Wow.
Yeah, so Dave Goles is still one of the original Muppet performers still around to this day, which also made it very, very special
Mm.
because Dave was there from day one. And so for
Yeah.
Dave
That's
to
incredible.
be yeah, so for Dave to see years later
Yeah. The
all the
transformation.
thing
Yeah.
yeah, all the transformation and to be doing the Muppet Show again with a new number of performers, that for me is one of the most amazing things. And I'm actually in contact with a few other Muppet performers that were like, if you see the credits, and
Yeah.
there's like a full number of other performers that worked on this thing. I actually know a good number of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Martin P. Robinson, he was my mentor. Not for Sesame Workshop, but I'm involved in this little club for puppeteers, not just based in New York, but around the country. And he did like a little workshop. He remembered me from a workshop he did when I was in college.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, Stephanie DeBruzzo, who plays Prairie Dawn on Sesame Street. She
Yeah.
was also Kate Monster on Avenue Q, the original Avenue Q. So I've met her many a times. She's very sweet, but again, a tremendous performer. Bruce Lanoil, Ryan Dillon, who plays Elmo on Sesame Street.
Oh
He
wow.
was involved.
And
Um,
he did the movie as well.
say again?
Did he do the movie as well? Elmo and Grouchland.
Oh, Ryan Dillon?
Yeah.
Oh, no, no, no. That was Kevin Clash.
Oh, okay. Right.
So
Right.
Kevin Clash was so when you see Elmo and Grouchland and all the other things Elmo was in, compared, if you look back at the '80s and within the early 2010s,
Oh, I
that
see.
was yes, that was still Kevin Clash,
Ah, I see.
and Kevin left, and then Ryan Dillon came in. He took over.
Right.
So Ryan Dillon was one of the main puppeteers for one of the assistant puppeteers, the additional performers for the special. Actually, a good number of them worked on, they all worked together when the Muppets did their show at the Hollywood Bowl,
Oh yeah.
and also when they did their live Muppet show at the O2 Arena in London.
Wow.
So they all, from what I know, they all work very closely together, whether it's Disney's Muppets or Sesame Street. They
Yeah.
all work very, very close together.
Oh wow. That's so amazing. And I hopefully they keep producing more Muppets content.
I hope so as well. I mean, it gained so much popularity
I
that
know.
rumor has it they're working on writing new episodes
Oh nice.
for the Muppet Show. Can't really say that they greenlit a new season, but
Yeah, yeah.
if that's in the works, then who knows?
It's a no. Yeah. It's a no-brainer.
Also, huge shout out to Seth Rogen.
Oh yes. Seth Rogen is.
Huge shout
Yeah.
out to Seth Rogen for wanting to bring back the Muppet Show. I mean, I love Jason Segel. I love the 2011 movie that he did. But shout out to Seth Rogen, man.
Yeah.
It's been way too long.
Was that the last time the Muppets was on TV? Like in that?
Well, Seth Rogen, well, Seth Rogen. No, Jason Segel. He wrote the 2011 film,
Yeah.
and they introduced a new character. His name is Walter.
Yeah, I remember him, yes.
Yeah, many people don't like Walter. I don't, and I'm gonna look right in the camera and I'm gonna say, I don't care what you say. Walter is one of the guys. I don't care what you say. And if you got a problem with that, well, hey, I'm right here. Come at me. So I'm sorry, because I keep seeing people saying, "Man, Walter doesn't deserve to be one of the guys.
Walter's great.
He's not a
Yeah.
Muppet." I'm like, "Hey, let me tell you something. If it wasn't for Walter in that movie, none of this would have happened. The Muppets would not have gone back together." Okay.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
if you want to disrespect, so if you want to disrespect Walter,
Gonna
I'm
go
right
through
here. I'm
me.
gonna
Gonna
stand
go
up for
through me.
Walter, man. Also, I'm friends with Peter Lynch, who plays Walter. So,
Oh, he's biased. He's biased.
but
You can't hate him.
yeah, no, I can't hate Walter.
Yeah.
But no, going back to your question, yeah, they did the 2011 film, and they did like a few TV appearances,
Yeah.
and then 2014 they did the sequel, Muppets Most Wanted,
Oh, they
which
did. Yes.
which I actually enjoyed. I enjoyed that movie so much. I thought, wow, this is actually very different
Yeah.
for what the Muppets do originally, especially having a Muppet villain, Constantine, the evil Russian frog.
Yeah.
I thought that was absolutely brilliant. And Matt Vogel, he did such a great job
He did. Yeah.
portraying Constantine, which I'm going to say, Matt Vogel, he is doing a tremendous job taking over for Kermit.
Yeah, I heard his voice originally in the new episode. I wasn't first keen on it because it's so different to Steve's
Yeah,
uh, iteration. But to be fair, you get used to it. It's brand new, so you get used to it.
exact. I tell everybody that. And truth, and yes, I grew up with Steve Whitmire's performance of Kermit, but I also, because when watching Sesame Street, they would show some of the older clips when Jim
Mm,
was performing Kermit because he originated the character.
yeah,
So that's when I went, wait a minute, this Kermit sounds different to this video clip. And that's how I came across. Okay, so Jim was the one who originated and performed Kermit
yeah,
first. Then he sadly passed. Steve Whitmire took over. Disney fired him, and then Matt Vogel came in to take over. And I said, I'll only judge the performance when they're actually doing something.
yes,
And when Matt was made his debut as Kermit at the Hollywood Bowl, I said, okay, let me just watch a few of these clips. I'll make the assumption. When he sang Rainbow Connection, I was crying.
yeah,
I was crying because he actually, it's not about, okay, yes, it's about trying to have the character sound semi similar to the originator,
yeah,
but it's also about, you know, definitely staying faithful, but, trying to make it your own.
yeah. I agree.
And Matt definitely has made Kermit his own. The one thing I will say, he's got to work on the yay a little bit. I mean, he does amazing job with Kermit and everything else, but when it comes to the yay,
Yeah,
he's got to work a little bit on that. Like, it's the Muppet Show with our very special guest star Sabrina Carpenter, and he was like, "Yay!" I'm
yeah.
like,
It's like he's
okay, you did
trying to
good with
find
the
the voice.
intro, but I mean, you did good with the intro, but the way the way it would have been originally, like, that's the Muppet Show with our very special guest star Sabrina Carpenter. Yay!
Yeah,
The yay needs to be.
high pitched.
Am I a little bit pitch higher? Again, hey, look, hey, look, Matt, if you're watching this, Matt, you're fantastic. You're a fantastic performer. I'm sorry, I'm just giving my 2 cents here, but
So
but
I know what you're talking about, though. It's people need to learn that you can't always replicate the previous voice.
exactly.
Like I don't know if you've seen the new Toy Story trailer. This is a bit off thing. They've replaced.
Funny enough, my brother, he is on my case, going, "We're gonna go watch the new Toy Story. We're gonna go watch," and I'm like,
Yes.
The movie ended at Toy Story 3.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
done.
It looks really
I'm
good
done.
though. This one looks really good. Well, I mean, the pre
I did see the fourth one just to know what was okay, what was going on, what was it all about. Okay, it's good, but still for me,
I agree. It should
Toy
have ended
Story
at
3,
three.
that
Yeah.
we ended there. We do trilogies, not constant
Well,
films.
it's the thing. If once you made a fourth one, you need to make a fifth one and then a sixth one because you need two trilogies. If you make a fifth one, it's like a random number.
That is so painfully true. And
That's my OCD. I
I
need
know
six.
although you mentioning about the fifth trailer for the fifth Toy Story movie, I believe I know what you're gonna mention. I believe I know the new voice for Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, so Mr. Potato Head and Mrs. Potato Head have both been recast now.
They have.
There's a brief line in the trailer where they sound, you can tell the difference, but it sounds, it's their iteration, if you get me. You know it's Mr. Potato Head speaking, but it's not Don Rickles, that was his name. Yeah,
Yes, Don Rickles was the original Mr. Potato Head, and Estelle Stiller,
yes,
Ben Stiller's mother.
yes.
She was the original Miss Potato Head. I forget the name of the actress. It kind of flew past me, but I guarantee she'll do an absolutely brilliant job.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, I do know the new voice of Mr. Potato Head,
Oh, really?
and that is
Oh,
Mr. Jeff Bergman.
yes, it is. He does some of the Muppet
Yes.
voices, yes.
Not just that. Not just that. Mr. Jeff Bergman is the voice of Bugs Bunny
Oh,
for the Looney
yes,
Tunes.
yes, 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 he is, yes.
Yes, so when I saw pictures of that all over Instagram, I was actually very ecstatic. I went,
Yeah,
"Oh my goodness, the voice of Bugs Bunny is the new voice of Mr. Potato Head. This is actually pretty cool."
yeah. It's a perfect choice as well because it's a voice actor who knows what they're in for. Like, here's the script, you've got to replicate or do your own version of Don Rickles' voice, and he's gonna do.
I didn't read truth when I and it was just like a small bit. It was a small bit that we heard of Mr. Potato Head
Yeah.
in that trailer. It didn't really sound like Don Rickles,
No.
which for me was actually a great thing
Yeah.
because I also said whoever's playing Mr. Potato Head now, they're actually going to be putting their own uh, spin to it.
Yes.
So it's not like someone doing an impression of Don Rickles as Mr. Potato Head. They're gonna give it like their full original take on it.
Yeah.
And when I saw that it was Jeff Bergman, I said, "Listen, this man is Yogi Bear, Boo Boo, Ranger Smith. This man is everything I love about Hanna-Barbera, but
Yes.
also the voice of a good number of the Looney Tunes. So for him to go from Hanna-Barbera to Looney Tunes to Pixar playing Mr. Potato Head,
Yeah. It's
I applaud him.
yeah, exactly. And now he's probably gonna do if they do Toy Story 6, 7, 8, 9. He's got a
Oh
job for
God, no!
life.
Oh God, how long can these toys live?
30 years at the moment.
Truth, truth. Me and my brother, we've had this discussion many a times where I said, "Okay, Toy Story 3, that's where we end because Andy's off to college. He's gone at this point. But now we're adding tablets to this generation of children, and it's like no wonder these kids don't want to play with toys anymore. They just want to be on phones
Exactly.
and tablets. And I'm like, okay, you know what? This concept works. I do like it, but why couldn't we have done this for the third freaking movie? Would have made sense back then.
It would, but I think they were like, oh, let's have evil toys. The fourth one, let's have evil toys. The fifth one, let's have evil electronics. Toy Story
Actually, no,
6,
the second one, there was an evil toy.
they've all, oh yeah, you had the
Prospector.
Prospector, you had Lotso, and you had that evil doll in the charity shop.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is the thing though, like once Bonnie grows too old, then there'll be a new kid and a new kid and a new. Toy Story 9. Trust
You're
me.
basically summing up my teaching career at this point. Like once these students graduate, then these new kids will come in, and then these new kids will come in, and then so on and so on. It's like that.
Exactly. You're in the fourth film. You're in the fourth film. You're nearly in your fifth film. You're nearly catching up to Toy Story. So,
Oh,
um,
and the film is still going.
exactly. Oh my God, you're almost as old
Oh,
as Toy Story.
oh man. I mean, hey, I hear that they're trying to work on the third Inside Out movie, which
I'm very intrigued.
which I don't know how they're gonna be do. I don't know how they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna, from what I heard, they're gonna try to like add hormones or something.
That wouldn't surprise me because
I mean, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either. I mean, we had a show called Big Mouth on Netflix for God's
yeah,
sakes. So how are you going to try to turn something like that into a family film?
yeah, you've got to make it PG because like you've gone from a kid who learns about her emotions to the second one where she learns about anxiety to the third one where she goes into to where she's like 18 or whatever. But
Like puberty fairy. I'm the hormone monster. I mean, sure, I fuck around with dudes, but I'm not a fairy.
that's the thing. Like
That's the third one right there.
you've got the premise. Set it off TikTok.
I
Directed by
actually enjoy.
Marcelo.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed the second Inside Out movie.
It was great. It took me
Yeah,
a couple of
at
times.
first I was kind of skeptic at first. I thought, okay, Inside Out 2, how's this gonna work? But
Yeah.
then when they brought in the topic of anxiety, they already had me sold. I'm like, okay, this is a very good premise.
Yeah, it's very relatable to modern day as well. I think like anxiety is everywhere you look these days.
Yeah.
Um, and that's the thing. If they make a third one, it needs to make sense because they've done two very good films. So it's always the case of don't make it for the sake of it. But I need three films for a trilogy. OCD, you know. So
Yep. And then after the third film, after the third film, if it does well, we're gonna have enough to do a fourth film.
Inside
And
Out
so that
four,
means we're
five,
gonna have
six.
to do three more.
Yeah, don't make the fourth one unless you want to make six. Don't make seven unless you want to make nine. So,
How much more story can we do? Oh, we'll do it as much as we can.
oh, we'll milk it. We'll be like the MCU where there's like 50 million films.
Exactly.
Bang, 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 bang. Right. So I've got a good question for you because you're
Yep.
into your TV shows and your puppetry and stuff. I'm going to put you on the spot and say, out of every puppetry TV show or animation or cartoon, what is your top three? Your go-to top three, and no honorable mentions, no nothing. It has to be your best three, so you can exclude stuff.
All right, top three. So could these be like top three favorite animated shows and top three favorite puppetry shows?
We'll do that. Yes.
All right. Um, this one might actually surprise everyone because I came across other puppet shows before Sesame Street. So top three for me on that one would be Alf.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that now.
I'll explain what Alf is in a bit. So Alf, there was a show called The Great Space Coaster,
Yeah.
and the third one for me, it would definitely have to be it would have to be HR Puff and stuff.
Okay, so the Muppets is not in your top three. Oh,
Oh I mean, originally Muppets would be in my top three, but I thought it would be great to sort of give it a twist and tell
yeah,
people, listen, I before I even saw the Muppets, I mean, of course, I grew up with Sesame Street, but there were other puppet shows that we had on cable.
yeah.
So I saw a whole bunch of different puppet shows before, you know, coming across the Muppets and Fraggle Rock and everything else. So those three that I mentioned, yes, those were puppet shows, but they were definitely outside of
The norm.
yes, definitely outside the norm, but also outside of the Henson style
Oh, I
look.
see. Right, yeah.
So Alf was a very popular show back in the 80s, actually. And this is coming from someone that grew up in the mid 90s. So yes, 31 years of age. I grew up in the mid 90s. So Alf was a very popular TV show. It was centered around an alien from outer space. He
Ah,
crash lands on Earth, and he's from the planet Melmac, which is his home planet. Well, was his home
wow.
planet, and now he's stuck on Earth, and he's just a very lazy, irresponsible alien who loves to eat, loves to watch a lot of TV, but his species of aliens, they love to eat cats. And so you can find it on YouTube.
I might check
And
this
uh
out.
and this is actually how Alf sounded. Uh at first Alf he was a little bit lower. But as the show went on, going back to creating characters as you do it, they'll always change and they'll always grow.
Yeah.
So Alf, he sounded like this for a little bit, but then when the show kept going on and on and on, Alf eventually became very comfortable right over here. And I, my design was basically a mix between a kangaroo and an aardvark, so to speak. I can see from the confused look on your face, you're thinking, what is he talking about? But that was basically my breed. I had like odd uh Master Yoda type ears. But that's how Alf sounded.
Okay.
And yeah, and he was a live hand puppet. So which was pretty cool. Uh Great Space Coaster. That one, my friend Noah McNeil, that was he actually worked on that
Oh,
show.
Bear in the Big Blue House.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. Which is it's still amazing for me to say that, I am friends with Noah McNeil.
Nice. He's brilliant. I
Yeah,
spoke to him a while back. Yeah, he's brilliant.
he really he is. I mean, and I still think about it from time to time, going, I used to watch Bear in the Big Blue House with my mother when I was a kid. That show really
Same.
brought me and my mother very, very close together. And, 3-year-old me looks at my mother and I go, Ma, I want to be friends with Bear from Bear in the Big Blue House. And she goes, Listen, mijo, anything is possible. And
And
then a
there
few
you
and then
go.
a few years later, who would have thought I'd actually be friends with the guy who used to play Bear? And he's
That is
he's,
crazy.
he's such a cool guy. But yeah, Noah McNeil, he actually worked on the Great Space Coaster with puppet uh builder and I believe designer Kermit Love.
All right.
And yes, and so Noah was on the show. Kevin Clash, who before Elmo
Yes.
worked on the show as well, and Pam Arciero, who is a Hawaiian puppeteer. She plays Grunjetta on Sesame Street as well, and she got to work on the show. So they all worked on the Great Space Coaster years before going to Sesame Street.
Wow.
And here's actually a fun fact. Past few summers, when I would when I would do these summer camps here in New York, I would always take the train to where the school is at, and the school would be right around right around Broadway, and I would get out the train station and I would always exit right in front of the Ed Sullivan Theater where David Letterman did his late night show, and now of course Stephen Colbert
Yeah.
does his late night show. They filmed the Great Space Coaster in that exact same building.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so every time I exit the train and I look up and I see the Ed Sullivan Theater, I think, man, my friend Noah McNeil, along with two other puppeteers who I look up to so much, they worked on a very popular TV show back in the 70s in this exact same building.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. And of course, with HR Puff and stuff, that was Sid Marty Croft production. Um, both Sid and Marty, they were, Marty he's no longer with us anymore. Uh, very phenomenal, imaginative brothers for creating the world of HR Puff and stuff. They actually did the designs for the banana splits.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the original horrific looking costumes of the banana splits, which Hollywood turned that show into a horror film, which I'll never forgive you. I'll never forgive him for that. Although Eric Bauza, I loved his voice acting in that movie. He he portrayed. Paul Winchell, Dawes Butler, and Alan Melvin
Hmm.
so well in that film. So I give points for that. Other than that, no, no way, no way to that movie. How dare you turn my childhood show into a horror film?
The amount of things that get turned to horror movies these days. I don't know if you've seen Winnie the Pooh,
Oh, oh,
Bambi, Peter Pan. I am horrified. It's like, what is
oh
going
God. Oh, 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 oh. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. When they said they were doing a horror film version of Winnie the Pooh, let me put my glasses. Let me put my glasses back on. I saw myself and I saw my reflection. I thought, "Oh, put your glasses back on." Uh, when that movie was about to be released, Jim Cummings himself,
Yeah,
the voice of Winnie the Pooh, said, "Do not watch this movie. This movie is god awful." And because curiosity always killed the cat,
yeah,
I had to see it to believe it. And my God,
masterpiece.
why? That's all I want to know. Why?
It was just
Why would
so
you turn
weird.
Winnie the Pooh into a horror film?
The weird thing is they made a cinematic universe out of it.
That makes it even worse.
Yeah, I think there was.
That makes it worse. I
I
mean,
think, I
they
think
did one with Popeye for God's sakes.
yeah, I think there's a team up movie this year or something. It's like an Avengers thing. I think there's Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Bambi, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell,
No,
Snow White, Cinderella.
Are you joking?
No, no. Um,
Okay, because I heard Winnie the Pooh, I heard Peter Pan, and then I'm like, okay, that's obvious
wait,
because they
let
don't
me have a
care.
look.
But then you say Bambi and Tinkerbell, like
So the
you're
first one was
joking.
called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. You
Do
go
not
on.
want people, look at me and hear me when I say this. Don't watch that horror film. It is not worth your time.
It has earned. They've spent 1.1 million. They've earned 17.4. So there's a lot of people are watching these movies.
Now, now is that in US dollars or is that in pounds?
That's in US dollars. Yeah, so you've got Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh 2,
Oh
Peter
God.
Pan, Bambi. In the works, you've got Pinocchio. Uh,
That one I did see some behind the scenes animatronics on
yes.
it. Visually, it does look interesting, especially
Yeah,
with the animatronics involved. I hate to say that I'm curious to see it because I know I'm going to be extremely disappointed because it's just going to be and forgive me. I'm going to put on my British accent right now. It's just going to be one big foul bloke with a mask on, waving around a bloody chainsaw, going, "Ah, I'm
no.
Pinocchio. You left." Like turns on the chainsaw. "Ah, you left us." Ah." No,
It's
no.
you're selling it. It's gonna be brilliant. And do you think that's good?
Don't. Whoever's watching this, do not take my advice. Please don't.
There's one film called Pooniverse Monsters Assemble, and it's got Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, Owl, Bambi, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, Hook, Pinocchio, Jiminy Cricket, Rabbit, Sleeping Beauty, the Mad Hatter, and Cheshire Cat.
If this was any other episode of Disney's House of Mouse, it would have made sense.
I'm surprised Mickey Mouse isn't in it yet.
I'm saying like the names that you picked off.
Oh,
If
I
this was
know.
any other special like at Disney's House of Mouse, that
Yeah.
would have been great. But considering the fact that this is a horror film, I oh
uh,
God.
they've made a Steamboat Willie horror movie film as well.
I saw that. That was an abomination.
Yeah, that was David Howard Thornton who
Yeah,
plays Terrifier. Yeah,
here's my pet peeve. Here's my pet peeve. Like, if you want to make horror films, I got no problem with it. I'm making a few myself. I'm writing a
yeah.
few myself. But if you want to make a horror film based on something that is now public domain, why would you go the lazy effort and hire a big foul bloke and put a mask up over
I
him
know.
and say, "Hey, I'm Winnie the Pooh."
To destroy the love and care we have for
Yeah,
Winnie.
it's some fat bloke who just got out of prison and then finds a rubber mask of Winnie the Pooh saying, "Hey, I'm Winnie the Pooh. You left us, Christopher Robin." The original Winnie the Pooh would have been like, "Oh mother, Christopher." No, no, no. You that's what bugs me. Like seeing Piglet in the back of a prison truck with with chains all around him, going,
Yeah, I know.
hey, you got a smoke there, mate? No? Well, here, let me help you out with." Like, when did Piglet turn Cockney?
Oh, I don't even know at this point.
Hey, look, efforts of creativity on some aspects, I give it
Yeah,
that.
I know.
Credits on creativity, I give it that. But for God's sake, do something new. Do something new. Don't use freaking. I almost cursed on this. Don't use Peter Pan or Captain Hook or
I know.
okay, Captain Hook I can understand because Peter did chop off his hand. So
True. That's
I,
true.
yeah, I was rewatching the original Peter Pan, going, I used to enjoy this. I used to root for Peter Pan. This kid is a psychopath.
Yeah, Peter Pan was the villain the whole time.
I, I was rooting for Captain Hook. I'm like,
Same.
dude, you chopped up this dude's hand and fed it to the Crocs.
Yeah.
You're saying you're crazy. And I was rooting for you growing up. Hook, I take Hook, I take all that back.
Yeah, who's my guy?
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, so okay, so top three puppet shows. We're going back. Top three favorite cartoons. Um, that okay, this one I'm actually gonna do like separate styles,
Okay,
like separate styles of animation. So Rocko's Modern Life, of course, SpongeBob, obviously,
goated.
and the last one, not Nickelodeon, but done by the same creator as Rocko's Modern Life. I'm gonna put Camp Lazlo on there.
Okay, nice.
So, and the reason why, well, Joe Murray, he created Rocco and
Mm,
Camp Lazlo. Obviously, Steven Hillenburg created SpongeBob.
yes.
The reason I put those in one category, I sort of call it my Tex Avery
Yeah.
era, because for many people that don't know, Tex Avery was a very uh expressive animator when it comes to like characters like bulging their eyes out, or whenever they would scream, they would, like, have their jaws like super crazy wide open with
Yeah.
with the tongue wiggling. Um, so I mean, I was gonna put Ed, and Eddie on there.
Oh, so good.
Actually, yeah, actually, I think I'm gonna break my own rule here. I'm gonna switch out Camp Lazlo and I'm gonna put Ed, and Eddie on there, because Ed, and Eddie. Not to say I didn't love Camp Lazlo, but Ed, and Eddie, that was, God. I just love that show so much. It was so much fun.
Yes.
Such a
Car
fun show.
Cartoon Network, we were so spoiled with like Ed and Eddie, Johnny Bravo. I don't know if you watched it, but I watched the Cramp Twins. Do you remember that?
I think I came across it.
The one with the blue brother. One of the,
Oh yeah. I remember.
yeah, that was great.
I don't think it came out on Cartoon Network. I think it came out
Oh, it
on some
might
other
be,
channel.
unless it was different in America, maybe.
I think
Was it
so. Yeah.
Boomerang? No, it wasn't Boomerang.
No, yeah, I think it was Boomerang.
It was, yeah. I always get them two crossed. But yeah, it
No,
was on
no,
most.
yeah. All right. Next one. Obviously anything Hanna-Barbera related. So I'm gonna put down Yogi Bear for the first one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put down Danny Phantom on
Oh,
there as
never
well.
watched that, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
It's really good. I'll explain a little bit of Danny Phantom in a bit. So Yogi Bear, Danny Phantom, and third one for me, regular show.
What was Wacky Races? Hanna-Barbera.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I love that
Yeah,
show.
Wacky Races
Oh,
was a Hanna-Barbera production.
that was good.
Yep. Funny enough, my parents' home country of Uruguay in South America, they're very big into the Flintstones.
Oh,
And
love. Yeah.
they're very big onto anything that was or is still to this day Hanna-Barbera related.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and funny enough, when I was watching the Ricky Gervais show, the Hanna-Barbera version, I come to find out that I believe in the UK, the UK is very fond of anything Hanna-Barbera related as well.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, because of Wally Gator and Squiddly Diddly,
Mm,
Loopity Loop, Jabberjaw, and all that.
yeah.
So that's why. So of course, but of course, Yogi Bear. He's always been my favorite.
Oh God, there were so many shows to watch back in the day under
Yeah,
Hanna-Barbera. To pick three is difficult.
yeah. But actually, here in the States, and my friend Bob Bergen, who's the voice of Porky Pig, he shared this with me that there's a new channel here in the States called Me Too.
Okay.
And now they added Me Too Tunes. So now they get to re-air some of the classic cartoons from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and 80s.
Wow.
That being the classic Hanna-Barbera cartoons,
Yeah.
the classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoons from the 80s, and all the other retro shows that they had back then, Underdog, Rocky and Bullwinkle, all those
Mm,
things.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, honestly that's great, especially for this generation to sort of have a little bit of that exposure to, wow, this is what the animation they did back in the 50s looks like.
Oh yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm similar as you, but obviously we grew up in the early 2000s with all of it being on reruns, and obviously the issue with most TV being streaming services these days.
Yeah.
A lot of kids are missing out on the shows we got to rewatch that, as you said, aired in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Because obviously I grew up with Scooby Doo, Tom and Jerry, bloody hell, and obviously different categories: Pink Panther, Hong Kong Phooey. Bloody hell, the amount of cartoon shows I grew up with, it's so nostalgic just thinking about them. And we were
Yeah,
very spoiled.
and all those cartoons, of course, they were recycled
Yeah,
because every show was about a talking animal based on a very popular comic. And then after the popularity with Scooby Doo, it's like, okay, recycle for a bunch of teens, a
yeah,
talking animal, solving mysteries. Don't matter. It came from two guys from Brooklyn that knew what they wanted to do.
yeah.
So, and that's why I still, have that love and respect for Hanna-Barbera.
Oh, 100%. They left a massive legacy behind, and it's just continuously influencing countless things in the modern world as well, in
Yeah.
everything they do.
Oh no, yeah. And when you mention about about a whole bunch of streaming services, same thing with cable. A whole bunch of streaming services, not enough good things to watch.
Exactly, and it's the same sort of stuff these days. They're just sort of recycled. Like, you've got your Stranger Things and stuff, but they're just based. They're good, but there's nothing unique like the shows we grew up with. It's very different. It's still good, but it's not the same.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. Especially when I mentioned about Danny Phantom. So that show was created by another hero of mine named Butch Hartman. He created the Fairly Odd Parents for
Oh,
Nickelodeon.
yes.
And that show, Danny Phantom, was about his parents. Well, he has a sister as well, but his sister's not involved in what the parents want to do. And the parents, they are ghost hunters.
Huh?
Originally, they were supposed to be Ghostbusters, but think
Yeah,
Ghostbusters,
yeah,
Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson.
yeah.
We can't use that name.
No.
So we're gonna have to switch it out. So instead of Ghostbusters, they're Ghost Hunters,
Uh,
and they sort of found their way to the ghost realm, where if any ghosts got released, they can send them back.
right.
Their son named Danny, he accidentally goes inside the portal. He accidentally pushes a button, and his molecules got rearranged, so now he's part human and part ghost.
So that's why it's called Danny Phantom because he's a phantom.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So now, whenever a ghost comes into the real world, he has to go ghost and catch these ghosts and send them back into the ghost realm. So that way they can't, cause any damage within the human world.
Yeah. All right. That sounds cool.
It was a very cool action-packed show. Uh the season finale film that they did for it was actually a great way to wrap it up.
Oh, that's always
And
good.
yeah, and they had a great voice cast in there as well. My friend, uh, yeah, my friend Greg Delisle was in it. So yeah, Greg Delisle, Rob Paulson, I believe Maurice LaMarche was on there as well. I'm not really sure. I may have to look back at the credits, but they had a great number of voice actors on there. Many of them worked on Fairly Odd Parents. So
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Nice. Well, Marcelo, it's been a pleasure talking to you again. And just to finish off, is there anything else you'd like to let us know? Anything that's coming up? Obviously, I know we discussed at the start. Yeah, you've got a few projects in the work, but anything else you'd like to add before we wrap things up?
there is one thing I can share. A few years ago, uh, I had this idea for a small band,
Okay.
like a rock, blues, country band. Uh, Again, I can't really say too much, but that's something that I'm interested in doing. Something music related.
Wow. Poetry, art, film, music.
But
What can you not do?
as you can tell from the guitars I have over here, it's not for show. So,
You know what's funny? We've been talking this entire time, and I don't even think I clocked onto the fact there's guitars behind you. Obviously, I can see there's three of them now.
yep, yeah. The first one
Yeah, very nice.
is the one I had when I was 10.
What,
The
the one to the right? The one to your that one.
Yep,
Oh,
yep, the
nice.
small classical acoustic guitar. I've had that since I was 10. That was a gift from my grandmother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I've had that for many, many years. Uh, the one right over here, the Fender acoustic, I've had that since college, and
Wow.
I've started to learn how to play the blues from playing the acoustic guitar, but also watching BB King, one
Mm.
of the last remaining kings of the blues.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, I want to upgrade to doing electric blues. And
Yeah.
so over here, I have my Epiphone Les Paul.
Very nice.
Yep.
Amazing. Well, hopefully something comes of that and it all works out for you, as well as everything else you're currently working on.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. It's been a pleasure catching up with you. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel, and I do hope we talk again at some point.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been great getting to talk to you again.
Yeah, you too. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will let you know when this goes live, and take care for now.
All right. Thank you so much, Alan. Take care, buddy.
Yeah, you too. All the best, Marcella. Bye bye.
All right. Thanks. Cheers.